Thank you, Sunny. I was just talking to myself. All right. What's so funny is this entire time I've been doing a British accent, preparing my vocals, and I was like, literally, babes, where are your parents? And I'm being goofy and in my dark feminine energy, just to be told, babes, your mic isn't on. So let's go. I'll get the flubs out of the way early on. So let me repeat myself. If you are watching this after it's live, first check the pinned comment so you can skip around to the different parts if you want to get straight into the juicy details. Also, I encourage you, if you want to interact in the live chat with me, I go live every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. I'll either do a live premiere where we can interact in the chat in real time as we watch the premiere, or I will go live just like tonight where I will be on screen and we can interact in the chat as well. I'm so bummed that my mic wasn't on because I'm pretty sure I lost a couple people at the beginning there. And hopefully, when people click on this video, they won't be deterred thinking there's no sound. Whoopsie. So I will once again say thank you to my lovely moderator, Sunny in LA. You're always here, keeping the trolls at bay, keeping the vibration high. If you're here in the chat and you're ready for tonight's live topic, how to unlock your dark feminine, black cat energy, drop a black heart in the live chat, check in, let me know how you are feeling this evening. I'm very much looking forward to this, and we're not going to waste much time. I want to get right into the topic, but as always, it would not be alive with me if we didn't begin with 3 rounds of breath, especially when we're talking about our feminine energy, slowing down so that you don't forget to turn your mic on like me. Slowing down, connecting with your breath and your body is a beautiful way to tap into your feminine energy, period. So, we're going to go ahead now. If you're in a safe and comfortable space to do so, you might even close your eyes for this 3 rounds of breath. And now, 2 options here. You can do the Uttara Bodhi Mudra, which is a very powerful mudra. Uttara meaning upward, Bodhi meaning enlightenment or awakening. It's all about the light from within the soul and bringing that outward, much like the feminine energy. It's great for focus, confidence, and enlightenment. The second option you have, my beautiful goddesses, is to bring both hands to rest on your sacred womb space, right on that sacral chakra, just a couple inches down from your navel or your belly button. And if you're in a safe space to do so, let's take 3 deep rounds of breath together, closing the eyes, emptying all the air from your lungs and your belly, shoulders relaxing. And let's inhale together through the nose. And sigh it out. Once again, deep, long inhale in through the nose. And this time, releasing back through your nose. Last round of breath together. Deep inhale. Holding at the top and seeing if you can't take an extra sip. And letting it go heavy. Beautiful. Now, instead of playing the crystal singing bowl tonight, I am simply going to tap this small bronze Tibetan singing bowl 5 times for the 4 elements as well as spirit or ether. So adjust your sound if you need to. We're going to have 3 loud bangs. 5. All right, y'all. So you see, I wanted to embody that dark feminine energy that we often see. And of course, we'll get into it. It's much more than what you wear, an outward appearance. It comes from within. But to really embody that role, adding the red lips, wearing the black, and having the nails, the red nails tonight, I wanted to fully tap into that, harnessing it just like an actress or an actor harnesses a role. Although you're not pretending, you're just allowing your shadow self to come up to the surface. Okay, so first, what we're going to do this evening is talk about what is dark feminine energy and also what it isn't, because there's a lot of content out there right now about what it is, what it isn't. This is all my personal experience, my personal opinion. Please take what resonates with you and leave the rest for someone who may be needing to hear it. A lot of these things I have cultivated from past experience in my, not that I'm not youthful now, but in my younger years, things that I just wish someone had said to me, or even if they did, that I wish it didn't go in one ear and out the other. So, first we'll talk about what is dark feminine energy, what it isn't, and then we're going to go over 8 tips on how to activate your dark feminine goddess energy. If you're here for that, leave a black heart in the live chat. Let me know that I'm talking to people on the other side of this screen. Okay, so first and foremost, as I said, there is more to dark feminine energy than cat eyes and red pouty lips and saying no. There's so much more to it than just being sultry. It's doing the inner as well as the outer work. It is working to align not just with the spiritual realm, but also the 3D physical plane, because you need both. It's the internal healing, it's the shadow work, as well as the maintenance of your outward appearance. So many of you already know this, but the inner work will always trump the outer effort, because the energy you present outward was cultivated first from within. So you can't just put on makeup and think you'll exude dark feminine energy, because that unwavering confidence that is dark feminine energy, that will always come from within, my beautiful friends. But makeup and a fit body, they only amplify that inner work that you've already been doing. But it is worth mentioning that having regular fitness routines, nourishing your bodies with high vibrational, nutritious foods is a form of self love and inner work, and it will breed and exude to your outer world. Now, I would be remiss to not mention this caveat, and it's a personal opinion. It may be a trigger for some, but I truly believe that Black and brown women are the ones who often suppress their dark feminine energy the most, because we can be fearful that we are going to be typecasted or stereotyped as aggressive or angry. And it is true, we do judge people based on appearances. If we didn't, there wouldn't be dress codes, there wouldn't be unspoken etiquette, and there wouldn't be such a thing as first impressions. Now, your body language will always speak before your mouth ever opens. Did you know that 93% of communication is nonverbal, which means only 7% of you moving and saying things is communication? And it is worth mentioning as well that in that 93% is the tone. So it's not always what you're saying, but how you're saying it. All right. So without further ado, what is dark feminine energy? Well, that term in and of itself is a little bit redundant. And I say that because feminine energy is dark. Feminine energy is dark inherently because it's associated with the night sky, the moon, and not the daylight and the sun, like the electric male energy. That's why we're magnetic and we attract, we don't chase. And men, they're more electric, they're the enforcers, okay, in the divine order of things. And now, this isn't to be confused. We all possess masculine and feminine energies, okay? It's just knowing when to traverse between the two. So you can see the darkness of feminine energy very artfully depicted in our anatomy. Our reproductive organs as a woman are internal and hidden from the casual observer, which means our power as women, it stems from dark matter. Okay? All the things that are like bad words, like the black cat is bad luck, that's feminine energy. The divine feminine is the portal between worlds, la porte in French. And we cultivate spirit in the darkness, and then we give birth to it into the light. So a creation occurs in the darkest shadows in our sacred womb space or our sacral chakra, the color orange, which is why I chose orange behind me today, as well as red on the globe. So I refer to this innate power that we have as women to gestation of the unseen. So much like a thought, before it becomes a thing, it must first exist in the deep, dark depths of your mind before it can become a physical manifestation or a physical object. In the same way, our sacred wombs hold the essence of what it means to be a woman. Now, whether you're a mother or not, you possess that inner power. Now, if dark feminine energy was a season, it'd be winter. There's a fad going on right now where people are talking about the winter arc. And from what I've gathered, I haven't really watched many videos on that. It just seems to be that in the darkest days, now that we had daylight savings time here in North America, in the darkest days, you disappear, you go into hermit mode to cultivate and recreate and reemerge as this new version of yourself, a better version or a more well rounded version. And now, winter can be cold and unforgiving, but that's why winter is nothing to play with. Winter can be so extreme that if you've ever lived in a winter state or somewhere with snow, you know in that season of winter, without being fully prepared with boots, gloves, double socks, long johns, hand warmers, window scrapers, and the list continues, you you would know better than to show up without those things in the winter season. Now, this is a great example of what happens when you're in your dark feminine energy. People are required to show up with the proper tools, the proper accoutrement, the proper energy in order to feel Jack Frost just lightly nipping at their nose instead of frostbite eating away at their toes. So, in other words, you come correct to feminine, dark feminine energy or to the winter season, or you don't come at all. And if you do try it underprepared, you will face the consequence of Mother Nature. And now I pulled a card from my Starseed Oracle deck, which is the perfect depiction of dark feminine energy. I don't know if you can see this very well here. It's very dark here, and it says the void, stop, embrace winter, and the great cosmic womb. The great cosmic womb, dark matter energy, the void, that space is womb, dark matter, divine feminine energy. You can almost see it better from back here without the light. There it is, written down for you. So let's now talk about what dark feminine energy isn't. And then we'll dive into what it is and our 8 tips. So it's not about, sound is out. Can you hear me? We'll do a mic check, mic check. That was odd. Okay, I think it's been on that whole time. I'm not sure where I lost sound. We're having some technical difficulties. It's almost like I was so excited and so over prepared for this live that I'm having the most technical difficulties. Such is life. So thank you, Sunny, for letting me know. Okay, so let's talk about what it isn't. Dark feminine energy isn't about game playing. It's not about manipulation. It's not being needy or desperate. It's not about being anxious or wounded. It's also not only about being in your feminine or your dark feminine energy. because an elevated woman knows when to traverse between the two, her light, her dark, her masculine, her feminine, and use them as tools to conjure and bring to the light what it is she's trying to magnetize for herself. So that is your superpower as a divine feminine. Now, I use the term black cat because it has been a catchphrase, and I personally love black cats. But it's not about hissing, it's not about being mean. It's more about being unbothered and less reactive. It's not about being fearless, but about acting in spite of being afraid, which leads me to what dark feminine energy is. It is courageous. It's decisive, it's power, it's pleasure, it's intuition and listening to those divine gut feelings. It's being pursued, being chased, not chasing. It's receptivity, having your heart space open enough to receive. Another thing that is worth mentioning with receptivity, it's not just saying that you're open and wanting these things, but when the opportunity comes, not shying away from it. Being able to discern and use that intuition to seize the opportunity if it fits you. You're focused on yourself. And just like a cat, I made a short 2 years ago, and it says, if you don't like cats, it's probably because cats don't like you. And that is what I think of when I think of black cat, feminine, dark feminine energy. It's really a cat of any color because cats, there's a reason they say dogs are a man's best friend. A dog will blindly love you and be your best friend and be up under you and be anxious when you leave. A cat, they're indifferent. They're in their own world, which is why you feel so privileged when they come and curl up on your lap, because they only come to mess with you if you're a true divine being with good energy. And they only do it because they actually feel like it, not because they think they're going to get something in return. So that is the lesson from the cat or the black cat that my divine feminine could take away. Yes, Jalen, the room is matching. So, in your feminine energy, you want to allow things to gravitate to you using your feminine magnetism. It's having faith in how valuable you are, knowing your worth, so that when people and partnerships and relationships show up in your life, they know exactly how to treat you. Just like winter, they come prepared. Now, when we talk dark feminine embodiment, I often hear Angelina Jolie or Megan Fox, and those are great examples, beautiful women. Even sometimes Bad Gal Riri, I do hear her from times as well. But my personal favorite is the late, great Aaliyah when she's playing the role of Akasha in the Queen of the Damned movie. So I'm going to pull up just a quick photo for you. If you haven't watched that movie and seen her talk about how she prepared for this role, how she liked playing that dark feminine energy, because oftentimes we have that darkness within us. And as I mentioned, it is the suppression of that dark feminine, which is why you aren't in it. It exists within you and it looks different on every individual. So, to continue on, let's go ahead and talk about 8 ways to unlock, activate, and unleash your dark femme, your dark feminine energy. Now, number one, be mysterious. And now I don't mean smoking a cigar in a trench coat in the back of a lounge, just looking sultry. No. Instead, I mean keeping certain parts of your life private on social media, on face to face conversations, not oversharing about everything that's going on with you, where you ate, how they messed up your order. This will really serve you well in relationships, especially long term ones where you're trying to keep the spark alive, not oversharing. Okay. Now, it's also important to stay quiet about your next moves, because what makes you mysterious, what makes you that enigma, is that people cannot quite figure you out. Now, to some people, that will manifest as jealousy, or they may just be a straight up hater. But most people are going to be intrigued by that enigmatic behavior and want to get to know you better. So let people wonder about you. Let them be enticed by you, because peeping, people are often attracted to people who they want to know more about. And then when you do give them bits and pieces into your life, they feel privileged that they get to know this about you. And it creates this loyalty in the relationship. All right, so that's number one. Be mysterious. Not in the back of a lounge smoking a cigar, but keeping certain parts of your life private. If if it fits, keeping your relationships off of social media is a great one. Now, number two, and this is possibly the most important one, but do stick around till number 8 because they're all chef's kiss. Unwavering confidence. This is not suppressing who you are. Unwavering confidence looks different on every woman. Whatever side of you that you're suppressing, or that mask you feel like you need to wear around family, friends, coworkers, that parts of them that you don't want them to see, that's your dark feminine energy. Okay? And when you allow the healed shadow side of you to come out when it wants to play, people will then see you for who you truly are. And I have a great example of this, because oftentimes it's the hardest to do this with family or even old friends, because they have the idea of who you are. And if you try to change or elevate, they often want to bring you back. Unless they're inspired by it and they want to be on that train, they're often going to want to remind you of who you were. So, family, we're getting ready to go into the holiday season. If you've elevated, show up as that new version of yourself. Don't backslide into old friendships or old role playing just because you're there in the environment and it's more comfortable to do so. As I said, dark feminine energy isn't about being fearless. It's about acting in spite of fear. It is about being courageous. A great way that I know that I've been showing up authentically as myself is my sister sent me this mug for the holidays last year. This light is really bright. So it says other sisters, and it's just this brown horse sitting here, and then it's you, and it's a unicorn on a pole. Now, no, I'm not a dancer in that way, but I do pole fitness. And up until a couple months ago, I had one right in my living room for years. Okay. I'm all about moving your body, fitness. I'm a yoga teacher. This cup, at first, I was like, okay. But then I thought about it and I'm like, no, that means I've been showing up as my authentic self. Other sisters are like this plain old horse, and here I am, a unicorn sliding down a pole, y'all. Okay. Funny, but true. And now, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm drinking some delicious bay leaf and chamomile tea. Being you is your superpower. It is your authenticity that allows you to connect with those who truly value you for who you are, those you don't have to wear a mask in front of. And like I said, unwavering confidence can look different on every woman, but it will always exude from the inside to the out. And this can often be achieved or even enhanced by that worthiness, knowing your value in personal relationships as well as business, having better boundaries, detaching, let go and let flow, saying no, because although I made a little joke earlier, that is very powerful. No is a complete sentence. All right, let us move on to number 3. I love this one. I'm going to get excited about every single one, so just let me live. Number 3, being unbothered. Unbothered. On the inside, I was very upset that I opened this live with my microphone off while I was doing a great British impression. Oh, now I'm low-key worried that people are going to click off the video after it goes public because they're going to open to the first minute of me moving my lips and no sound. But I didn't let it throw me off my game. I'm still here. I'm still confident. I'm still excited to engage with all of you in the chat, and it's not going to stop the message. Being unbothered, okay? Not taking things personally. That one is a hard one, especially for me. If you haven't read The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, it has some great Toltec wisdom in there that applies to feminine energy. Give that a read. You can probably get it from your local library if you don't want to buy it, but it's a great one just to have on the shelf. I'm a book nerd, a bookworm, a book nerd, whatever you want to call it. I still go to the public library regularly. So when we're unbothered, we don't have that knee-jerk reaction, okay? When people trigger us and we know our triggers, we don't allow them to prey upon that, okay? When you feel triggered, which can be natural, not immediately responding, not reacting, just being. If you're in person, it might look like this. Letting people sit and stew in what they just said to you. Silence speaks volumes. In a text where someone is hitting on that trigger, instead of you typing out those 3 paragraphs, maybe you type out those 3 paragraphs, but sis, do not send those 3 paragraphs. Wait at least 30 minutes. Let your waters calm from within. Then respond casually, okay? Unbothered. A great piece of wisdom that my grandmother gave me is when someone is treating you poorly or with bad energy, you just stop and you look them right in their eyes and you say, "Is everything okay?" Because now they didn't get the response they wanted from you trying to poke the bear. And instead, they're like, "Oh, she's noticing that I'm not in the proper energy." And so there's no need to try to win that person over, or even worse, to stoop to their level and behave like them. Just be. And the thing I love, because we talked about 93% of communication is body language. So what you do in a face-to-face conversation, when you lean back like this, you seem uninterested. You're actually physically creating a space. Like, you let them know that their words made you want to fall back. Okay. Now, simply being at peace with oneself and one's life is allowing no one outside of you to have control over you or to have control over your emotions. Being the master of your waters, your water element as a divine feminine, is so powerful. And a great example of being unbothered, and say you're dating someone. Um, let's just say you haven't received a text from that guy you're really into. Now, you may be inclined to post a nice photo of yourself on social media to try to grab his attention, right? But that's chasing. And if you're chasing something, that means it is running from you. And feminine energy is a magnet, it attracts, it does not chase. So instead, what you'd want to do is go do an activity just for you. Just do an activity that is just for you. Book a yoga class, get a facial, meet friends for coffee, or you can even do a salsa class or a belly dance class on YouTube or at home for free. So whether you spend money on yourself or you don't, either way, when you choose time or you choose money, you're investing in yourself. So not only will you leave feeling good about yourself, but you'll leave possibly fitter, or at the very least highly caffeinated after having coffee with your friends. What this does is it shifts the focus back onto you, number one. And on a spiritual and alchemical level, your desired person will feel your absence. That's the reason why you always hear back from the guy or the girl you're not that interested in, or the job you didn't really want. And it's not just men and jobs, it's opportunities, etc. Because when you release attachment to something, it holds no true power over you. That creates an energy shift, and you begin to magnetize and attract what you are not chasing. This is why oftentimes you'll experience old flames. Right as you're moving on, you get a text from them out of the blue. That's because they feel your energetic distance or your indifference. Either way, they yearn to bridge the gap between your absence. Now, this doesn't mean they have the intention of giving you what you deserve or meeting your standards. So, of course, use discernment, but don't be surprised when that happens. If you're here, you're enjoying these. I see we have 9 people in the chat. Don't forget to drop a black heart in the chat if you're on a computer or device, not on your TV. Let me know that you're here. I'm talking to real people and you're enjoying this, okay? I greatly appreciate it, and it's a free way to support this channel. All right, let's move on to number 4. Sensual practices. Passion and pleasure. And as I've mentioned, sensuality is not always about that 3-letter word, sex. It's not always about that. That's part of it, but it's about the 5 senses. It's included but not limited to your sacral chakra, okay? Sacral chakra work, sacral chakra meditation, womb healing and clearing practices, connecting with and healing that womb space, like we did the Uttara Bodhi mudra for the power, which is very representative of the female form. And now a trigger warning here. If your body has ever been made to feel like it wasn't yours, whether through abuse or by others, or even by your own hand through addiction, or maybe just simply sharing your sacred portal with energies who do or did not deserve it, releasing shame and guilt around all of that not only will heal, but it creates fertile soil for new seeds to grow. So, cord cutting, calling your power back to you, sacral chakra meditation, root work, root chakra. All right, now moving forward, number 5, because this goes perfectly after sensuality, and that is seduction. Seduction is an art form. And once again, it's also not always about that 3-letter word. Whether you're doing it through your body language or through your speech, seduction is all about giving the person of your desire or of a desired response exactly what they want. Now, this is going to require you to get into other people's worlds instead of being super self-obsessed. Now, I'm all about the word selfish and being self-obsessed because when you work on yourself and you show up and set high standards, that weeds out the people who aren't going to meet you there. However, in conversation, when you're trying to seduce someone or a relationship, a business proposal, find out what that person is missing and provide that for them. Now, if you haven't read the book 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, I do encourage you to read that as well. So far, the 48 Laws of Power, as well as the 4 Agreements. So he was in a recent interview, he said something and it really stuck with me. It said, if you want to seduce someone, find out what they're missing and provide that for them. This works in any situation. In a friendship, it may look like you have a friend who does everything for everyone, and maybe you just need to be that listening ear or show up with a box of their favorite chocolates or flowers. Give them what they're giving to everybody else and allow them to feel that receptivity, allow them to feel seen and heard. In a relationship, this can look like nurturing, not mothering your man. Okay, there is a difference, but that's for an entirely different video. There's a very fine line between nurturing a grown man and trying to mother him. If you'd like for me to do a video on that, let me know in the comments. So what this can also do is when you're giving something that they're missing, this works well in business because you can provide a solution to a problem for your ideal client, okay? And now, before we dive into 6, 7, and 8, I'm going to plug the feminine chi. On 11/11, this coming Monday, I am launching my 2nd tier on Patreon, exclusively on Patreon, and it's called the Feminine Chi. So if you like this type of content and you're looking for a safe haven to connect and enjoy with other women, there will be feminine embodiment tips, journal prompts, deeper dives into sensual practices. We'll do monthly lives, inner work and meditation, beauty tips, and you'll also receive a discount, a special discount for my transformational feminine alchemy coaching program. Okay. So that launches this Monday, 11/11. And you can either shoot me an email, check the description for my email. I will send you a direct link on Monday when it launches so you can join that way. If you're eager to join, I do still have my first tier, which is the Chosen Tribe, where if you're into horoscopes, tarot, occult things, there's 50 posts there already that you can enjoy. And then when Monday rolls around, you could simply upgrade to the feminine tier and just pay the difference. I believe it's a $5 difference. Okay. So it's going to be $13.13 a month. I have no shame in saying that price. It's not wildly expensive. I know my worth. I know the value you're going to receive. Deeper than that, you value yourself, investing in yourself. I've said it in other feminine videos. Investing in yourself is one of the best things you can do. So, for just over $4 a week, getting access to all of this as well as a community, please do check it out. All right, back into the list. So, we just went over seduction. Now, let's move to number 6, which is, and I've mentioned this in sensual practice, but let's break it down further, slowing down. Stop rushing. Eat slower, chew slower. Not only will your digestive system thank you, but it exudes confident feminine energy when you slow down, okay? Walking slower. This next tip may seem outdated, but I tried it the other day and I was like, wow, this is a game changer. Practice walking with a book on your head. I was going to do it on camera for you all tonight, but I chose a bun, so I can't exactly do that. What this will do, though, is it will force you to slow down because you don't want the book to fall, of course, but it also allows you to find your unique equilibrium, your unique posture, chest lifted, shoulders back. And as you walk with a book on your head, it's going to bring this natural swaying and sashaying of your hips that is so divinely feminine and sweet. You will love it. Practice in a mirror, record yourself on your phone, watch yourself walk without the book, and then watch yourself walk with it. And if you practice that, you can carry it over into everyday life. That is how you walk in with that dark feminine energy and you control a room where all eyes are on you and it's quiet and you know you have everyone's attention, okay? Because it exudes from within, without. Okay, so also you want to talk slower, pause more, especially when you're listening to someone speak or someone share their experience. And now, what this does, much like being mysterious, that enigma, it has this effect when you're talking to someone and you're not simply rushing to get the opportunity to speak. So you're not really hearing them, you're just conjuring what you want to say next in that conversation. When someone is talking to you and you're genuinely engaged with them, and then when they stop speaking, you pause. That pause that may feel a little awkward for you, where you want to fill it. First off, that's not that confident. And confident energy is okay with pauses. This also allows the person who's speaking to you to feel like they're interesting and they will want to share more and they'll want to talk to you. That's that getting out of the self obsession. And I love this idea when you go into crowds or you go to speak to someone, a stranger at a social gathering, even. Instead of trying to make people like you, figure out what you like about them because people always want to talk about themselves. People love talking about their children. And so when you listen more than you speak, when you pause, when you give people your undivided attention, they're going to absolutely love that. Okay, it creates fertile soil for new seeds to grow. Cord cutting. Yes. Happy to have you here, Miss Lady K. You would love the feminine chi because we're going to be doing subliminals, affirmations, journal prompts, all of that. Cord cutting meditation. I love that you said that. All your feedback really matters to me. Now, the other thing that's important when you're talking, and even in a romantic partnership, is giving your eye contact. Okay. I know when you get nervous, it's easy to like look away, or say someone gets up from the table you're at. What's the first thing most of us do? We don't know how to be alone with ourselves. So we fiddle and we start scrolling until they come back. A confident, dark feminine energy, she's sitting there, she's sipping her tea or her wine, enjoying the environment, waiting for the person to come back. And when they're speaking, she's making eye contact, not in a creepy way, but in a I'm engaged with you. And if you get nervous, which is totally natural, if you get nervous as you're trying to collect your thoughts or respond to someone, instead of trying to look in one of their eyes, just look at the tip of their nose. They'll still feel like you're looking right at them, but it'll give your brain a second to process those thoughts that you're trying to articulate. What we don't want to do when they are at the table and we're thinking is be looking off or up. It is common for us when we're searching for a thought or a memory to do that. Now, of course, you're human. You don't want to be so orchestrated and manipulative that it doesn't feel natural, but get comfortable with the uncomfortable. That's that courage with looking someone in their eye, because I promise you, when you hold that eye contact, they're going to be more nervous than you are. Okay. Jalen said, do you sip or drink your tea? I mean, both. I like a little sip. Sipping tea is always good, especially if it's hot. You are most welcome, Miss Lady K. All right, Sunny, shout out to my lovely moderator. He's always in here keeping the trolls at bay, keeping the vibration high. Truly grateful for you. I cannot say it enough. Okay, now for number 7. This may seem woo woo, but it's expect miracles. Yes, you expect miracles. Oftentimes, we limit our expectations, or we simply set none at all, because you've heard someone say it before, I'm sure. When I don't set high expectations, then I'm not let down. Fair. I get that. However, in order to magnetize the true life upgrade that you know you're deserving of, you have to expect and shift your mindset into expecting miracles, because not only do you deserve them, but you've been doing the inner and the outer work. And so now you're open to receive. There's that receptivity again. So, feminine energy, it nurtures, it gives, but most importantly, it receives. Hence, our anatomy. You can't deny it. So, for this to really cultivate that, I recommend heart chakra meditations, Reiki, if you're into that, yoga. Okay, whether you take a class with me or you do a free one on YouTube, I just want you to do it. And with that being said, I am a certified and insured vinyasa and pregnancy yoga instructor. I've been a postpartum doula. I've prepared nutritious meals for womb healing for women. So when I'm speaking of these things, I'm speaking from a place of experience. And I've been doing this for almost 6 years. So if you're interested, whether you're an absolute beginner at yoga or a seasoned yogi, you can click the link in my bio as well as in the description of this video, and you can book a one-on-one yoga session with me. It'll be virtual on Zoom, and I tailor the whole class to fit you, whether you have any injuries, past pregnancies. If you are pregnant, like I said, I'm a pregnancy yoga teacher as well. Um, we will get that outer work and inner work all in one session. So don't shy away. Click the description if you're interested. Now, the last final one is more outward, okay, as we're getting to talk about fitness and yoga. Yoga, of course, is a very sacred practice. But number 8, emphasize your natural, God given beauty strengths, okay? Wear the mascara, put on a little chapstick or clear lip gloss. It doesn't have to be like, this is probably the most makeup I've worn all year because I took my cat eye into the creases. I have vibrant red lips, mascara, a little brow, and I have red nails. Okay, I had to do it for tonight. But truthfully, it doesn't have to be this high maintenance routine. If you have it and you got it like that and you want it like that, do it. But if you've noticed in almost all of my videos, I have a clear coat of nail polish on almost at all times. I love this because not only is it a low maintenance way to show up and look polished, and it tells other people you take care of yourself, but it makes you feel good when you touch things, when you grab things, bringing that sensuality out, okay? Also, if you chip clear nail polish, no one's gonna know before you touch it up except you. So you can go out and do a little grocery shopping and not be embarrassed that you're missing, a chunk of your red nail polish. So a little tip, little hack there. And I will be giving way more tips like this over on the Feminine Chi, launching on 11/11. You can see it here in the pinned comment, also in the description. So I truly hope that these tips and tricks found you well. They're not so much tricks, they're very much, like I said in the beginning, about doing the inner work, because that dark feminine energy, that's your shadow self, your healed shadow self wanting to come to the surface, no longer suppressing it, no longer wearing a mask around people who you love or people who you're getting to know, not trying to be the woman you think he wants you to be or the woman you think the job wants, but who you truly are. Because when you play to your strengths and you allow that dark feminine energy, which is truly just the essence of being a woman, to come out to play, you will show up so authentic and unapologetic in life, no longer chasing, but magnetizing your desires to you. This will look like no longer facing burnout. This will look like showing up the fittest, healthiest version of yourself for you, for your kids, for everyone in your environment. And if this sounds like something you really want to cultivate and you're interested in my Divine Feminine Alchemy Coaching one-on-one, it's a transformational 12-week program where you'll get coaching calls with me, so many other things. If that's of interest to you, click that link in the description, schedule your first consult call, and we'll see if we're a good match, a good fit for each other. All right. I think that that is everything for this evening. We opened with a little bit of technical difficulties, but look at us slowing down, being unbothered, and we got it done. Thank you all for being here, and I hope to catch you next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time live. Until next time, I'm sending you peace, love, sensuality, and feminine elevation. Ase.